Okay, step number 4. I like to take the outer cabinet's roll-around base, which is what you see under here, put it down on the ground on its casters. This is good to work from for assembling the burner box. This is your burner box base, which you've already assembled, the 18 gauge, 2.5 inches in height. Lay it diagonally across the cabinet. The right side means that this part that you have the 3/4 inch plus where the added piece of 20 gauge is going to go with the perforations goes towards the front. I'm going to set it on the top box. This top plate clamps directly where it is flush on this outer edge and clamp it down. Add a second clamp there. Lean it, get it, that's perfect. If you're a little off, take a hammer and tap it in. I'm going to do the same on the front side. It's a little off. I can take my hammer and tap it in. At this point, I like to stop and put a little weld there because this isn't going to come back apart. Hold it flush right there. Hold it. Make this right together. Just a spot to hold it together. Now, take the piece of 1 by 36, just set it on the top, put a clamp to have someone hold it, set it in place. Take another clamp and clamp it. Flush. If they're a little out, you're ready to install the top. It is installed exactly the same as the bottom. Installed, flange, going down. Exactly the same as the bottom. We'll weld this on and move on to installing the back. Okay, with the walls up, the floor and top on, come in and weld this joint that's 1 3/4 inches where these two meet. Top, both sides, bottom, both sides. Come to the back, weld them both on the top, weld them both on the bottom. Grind the welds down where they are on the face to where they're as flush as the panel. Flush all the way around. Now, you'll move in to squaring it by installing the back. Okay, I told you how the back panel would help you self-square the inner burner box. All that's required is bring it up flush to the edge on each side. If you'll have a gap at the top, it can be anything from 1/2 to 1 inch, top or bottom, as long as it's running square between it. And flush down the sides, your box will be square. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to MIG weld the corner on the far end, each of them in. The spot welds and the seams, I'm going to weld that in place and we'll move on to installing the brace and the outer box next. Okay, next we're going to install the shelf support. This support does not weld to the inner shelving on it. You take this support, find your center mark. We found it right here on the base. bring in your support. You may have to raise the top, put it on your center mark, and it's very important you're putting a clamp in the front to ensure that you have exactly 1/2 inch. Okay, we're ready for that. I'm going to weld that in place. Notice that I'm only welding this on the sides. I am not welding it in the front. If you weld it in the front, you'll have to go back and grind it out. So it's best just to put your weld here on the side. Now I'm going to move to the top and do the same. You want to come in and achieve exactly a 1/2 inch gap. Okay, this is the outer airbox chamber. This is the outside panel, which we're going to install right onto the side of what we've welded together. You're going to insert it into and make sure it's flush all the way around. It is now ready to be welded along the seams every 3 to 4 inches to ensure a seal where it stays. Don't weld your fascia, just weld right along the seam. Next, with that welded in place, you're going to come in with the 20 gauge piece of facial spacer that we originally showed you that you just put into place temporarily. You are putting it flush to the very top of the box, and it will fit flush to the very bottom. There is a 1 1/4 strip that's 36 inches that comes across the face. It sits right to the edge of the lip. This sits right tight to the inner shelf lining, to the shelf itself. This now gets clamped and spot welded into place. When it's finished, you will have exactly 3/4 of an inch. Your burner box is now finished. You can go over any welds, make sure all your spot welds are good. Any areas you see seams you want to add additional welding on it. It is plumb, it is square, and it is ready to be installed into your cabinet, attaching through the fascia screws and sitting on an insulation pad. This is the hardest step involved in building your powder coating oven. Okay, we have spent the better part of an afternoon with me and a helper to assemble this burner box. When it's in its final stage, the welds don't have to be finished. The spacer strip is spot welded into place, which gives you that perfect 3/4 of an inch dimension that I was explaining to you is the only one that's difficult that is variable. Every other component is self-squaring in this oven burner box. That 3/4 of an inch comes right over here to this oven, and that shows you where that fits into this oven. This oven, everything that's visible, has a wall behind it. If you can put the inner box together, the outer box is by no means no trouble. It's an all bolt and screw construction. This oven running up to 400 degrees in about 20 minutes. It's got every safety feature that we could ever come up with to protect the operator on it. It's going to be available in a powder coated finish. The kit comes in a galvanized or galvalume finish, is what you've seen here that we've assembled with. Thank you for taking your time to look at the video. Appreciate it. If you think you can put one together, give me a call. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you. Bye-bye.